Is there any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Walker, is there any way we could get that fee increase that's slated for next year deferred or not happen?
The July one, that is our standard that would have happened at stocking years anyway. We try to be very consistent with all of our clients, so that is happening across the board for everybody.
So do you all typically raise like $10 letters?
Not quite at that much. Not quite that much. We've been hit by a good amount of staffing inflation also this year. I expect that to smooth out over the next few years.
Any other questions? Okay, Steve, you want to
Hey,
take the last?
item I-1 through 7 is noted, and that's in my report.
Okay.
Carl,
Yes, sir.
I never finished my comment before you shut me up and went to vote on stock and leader.
I didn't hear any more questions, huh? We can go back to number 8. Go ahead.
I just want to bring up that since we started this calendar year, we spent $33,433.31 in solicitor fees. From what I understand, we only budgeted $40,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. We're spending way too much on solicitor fees. And that's the problem I have with it. Way too much.
Tom, do we still have a number of the amount we paid in solicitor fees for a board member making a right to know request on all the other?
Don't even bring that up, because you all gave me one
You don't
email.
want it, if you don't want it brought up because it doesn't help your case.
Well, did you bring one up for Janelle's case?
Well, she never made a right to know request on
She
the rest of
didn't?
the board members.
She didn't?
To try to see if people were gossiping about her. That wasn't the case. Apparently, the total was $9,463.34.
Yeah. I want a packet on what's going on now. I want a packet on what's going on now, Mr. Lavelle.
But you didn't.
I want a packet on what's going on now.
You discussed with Dan Otland when you were the board president.
You don't
So
have a
you
clue
spoke
how to
about
work with a lawyer.
transparency, but that
You don't have a
was what you
clue.
wanted to do.
You have not a clue.
Hold order. Okay. Both points have been made. To the best of my knowledge, if we had kept Dan, we'd probably been a little different. But, so, that's my, he got chased out. So,
Well, wasn't it left that he can come in and sit down and look it through them with you, and that's how?
yes,
And he agreed to that?
yes.
So
We all can.
are you not agreeing anymore?
I'm not going to pay any more bills that I haven't seen.
Fortunately, there's 9 of us up here.
Okay, then you
And
all
you need
vote for
one
bills
vote,
you haven't
my friend.
seen. Go for it.
Good, let's vote.
Yep.
All right.
We already voted.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You've been talking for so long.
And you're the one that said it months ago, Brian, and we all talked as much as we wanted to talk.
Okay. I know.
You want me to re-put that back up?
Sure, go.
Because now you're picking on me for talking. You said we didn't need the small vote rules because everybody was just allowed to talk whenever they wanted. That was your amount.
There's no reason to raise your voice. No reason to raise your voice.
I'm tired of being attacked by everybody on this board.
Nobody has
Nobody's
attacked.
attacking you. You're doing all the work
Okay.
yourself.
We're moving on.
No,
We got
you're being a
first-
smart aleck over there.
No,
That's what
I'm
you're
not.
doing.
I'm dumb as a rock.
Director Lawyer, please, next, got the floor now.
On to the personnel report. Does anyone have any items they wish to be pulled and voted on separately?
Who's talking, please, constable?
And the laughing too.
Back 40.
Does anyone have any items they wish to be pulled and voted on separately under personnel?
Hearing none.
Okay. In the form of a motion, recommend approval of personnel items A through H.
I've got a motion on the floor to approve under personnel A through H. Do I have a second?
Second.
Danielle seconds it. Any discussion or any questions on those? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Under curriculum, co-curriculum, and policy, does anyone want these separate, B and C, or we do them together?
Yes, I would like C1 and 4 pulled, please.
So, in the form of a motion, recommend approval of board policies and procedures 1 through 8 there. I'm just going to be together.
Okay. I got a motion on the floor to recommend approval of the policies B 1 through 8. Do I have a second?
Second, Mary Brennan.
Mary Brenneman seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion, and any opposing? Motion carries.
And Janelle, you said 1 and 4?
Yeah.
And in the form of a motion, recommend approval of items C, 2, 3, 5, and 6.
I have a motion on the floor, recommend approval of the compensation plan report 2025, 2028, 2, 3, 5, and 6.
Computer second.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
In the form of a motion, recommend approval of the 2025 to 2028 comprehensive plan.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the 2025, 2028 comprehensive plan. Do I have a second?
Second, Janelle Wessler.
Ms. Russell, you raised a question. Remember the question first, please.
So with, this might be for Dr. Berryman or Dr. Mitchell, I'm not sure, maybe for both. Just making sure, and I apologize for asking these questions now. With the distractions the last 2 weeks, I had this written down and I didn't ask, so I'm asking it this evening. This comprehensive plan is what is going to the state, right? These are the state recommendations that we are following and the guidelines for our school district, correct?
Yeah, the comprehensive plan is what we put together in our steering
Yes,
committee
okay.
and board committees to the state that will fulfill that requirement.
Okay, okay. I don't know if it's the same question, because they both seem kind of similar to me. So the next one. Okay, that's what I needed to know, just so that it was state mandated. Okay.
Yes.
Do I have any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
In the form of a motion, recommend approval of the 2025 and 2028 academic standards and assessment requirements.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the 2025 through 2028 academic standards and assessment requirements. Do I have a second?
Second, Janelle Wessler.
You had the question.
Yes, I have a couple. Okay.
Questions
The first,
first, please.
the first is, how are we watching the progresses of the students or as they progress? So monthly, quarterly, annually. I know we have iReady. Is so those we're getting monthly reports. I think you've given 2 reports so far, correct? From
So it's a little different when you say reports. I just want to so every week I can, and the voting principals as well, can look at usage. So students are to be on 30 plus minutes a week. They mostly try for about 45 minutes a week. So those are weekly. The teachers can then break it down in their classroom by student, and then how many lessons they are passing
okay,
within that time frame.
okay,
The other ones that you're talking about are the diagnostics, and we do 3 diagnostics a year. So one at the beginning of the year, one in January, and then we'll do another one in May.
okay. All right. I think that's good.
Okay.
The next is, I know we have a plan here. I'm looking over it. I didn't see anything where how are we? I guess checking in. I guess maybe it piggybacks on the iReady, but we are able to piggyback on that and see how the students are progressing. Period. So we'll get the report in the fall, in like the winter, and then the spring
Mhm.
to see how they're moving forth.
As far as,
As
like,
far as
the growth
growing,
in
how they're
iReady,
growing.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Next question, and again, I apologize. Have we looked into other schools, and I know that you did state at our CCNP meeting that I think there was a school in Pittsburgh that are doing well. Their scores are their students are doing great. They're growing. Have we been in touch with them maybe to see that they can maybe give us some guidance on what they're doing that we could be doing as well?
So I have some emails out to some of those schools, but I also have 2 school visits already set up. One is the 27th of this month, and the other one is the 31st.
Okay.
So Mr. Moran and I will be going to visit 2 schools here yet this month.
I'm-
And we will
that's wonderful.
continue to do that.
Okay, thank you. And then I guess, for maybe this is Dr. Mitchell, what is your plan moving forward to improve our guidelines? I know we have this here, but going forth. Again, I'm not really seeing that in this report. Maybe we
Right.
weren't, we're still working on that.
No, last year, and I've talked with Dr. Berryman about this, last year, this board approved the curriculum revision hand guide our handbook, which spells out a 4-year plan to ensure that A, we're meeting the state standards that are provided, B, that we're instructing our students as they should be instructed, that we're progress monitoring with common assessments to make sure that all of our students are receiving the same assessments, and 4th year, reviewing for implementation of new innovative practices or innovative curriculum needs that we have. So it's a 4-year cycle to ensure that our curriculum is not stale, is always being reviewed, is making sure that our students are matching what statements, what standards are provided that we establish to be true, and then always revising and refreshing that curriculum in the upcoming year. So it is a continuous cycle for improvement. That was a revision handbook that was approved by this board back while I sat in Dr. Berry.
Okay.
And we can always share that out again.
Sure.
With this board. I can either email it out with permission or have it at the next board meeting.
Okay, I'm fine with waiting to the next board meeting, that's not
Okay.
a problem. And I just wanted to piggyback that, I'm glad to hear, like, I know it's not really a question, but Dr. Becker sharing what he shared tonight with the test scores, that's awesome. One more. Do we have money in our budget to, so I'm kind of piggybacking, moving forth on our curriculum?
That is one of the things that we are working to prioritize. One of the
Okay.
board, and in my superintendent's report, I talked about what this board shared with me was first, making sure that we can recruit, retain, and develop quality staff. 2, enhance and improve the programs that we provide for our students. Those were the top 2 priorities that this board said to me very loud and clear during interview processes and since. That matches our 3 board goals that we have in the area of improving for our students. So, yeah, we're going to make sure that we do those things and provide for our students.
And if I could just off of that too, as you heard them talk about today, these in-service days is where we prioritize that work on the curriculum and moving it forward.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Welcome.
Anything else? Good stuff. All right, all questions have been asked and answered. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brian?
Nothing new. There's some developments that I cannot report out yet, but will next month.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Thank you. Nick?
Nothing to report from PSBA.
Everybody got their little LIU packet, a lot of resignations, a lot of hires, a lot of stuff in there. Please read them.
Did it ever get better when I wasn't on board?
What, LIU?
Yeah.
Ever since Dee left, it's gone downhill.
It was dead when, I mean, they should probably make it.
Dr.
What
Mick?
was, you mean with staffing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
always.
was a leadership issue. They never changed, or
They
no,
did get a new superintendent. so it's good.
this is not
Yeah.
working.
All right, Dr. Mitchell.
Well, thank you. I've already shared about the Connects Challenge and what we've done at ACES with STEM programming. I'd also like to share that I have been meeting with Mrs. Mummert, and I plan on meeting further with administration to prepare a community survey to collect information from parents, staff, teachers, all the constituents of the area, to try to make sure that we are reviewing and meeting our mission to invest in collaborative experiences that inspire and nurture personal growth for our students, and to make sure that we are building a foundation, building a solid foundation that prepares all of our students for life and career success. So that survey is scheduled and hopefully will come out by the beginning of April. That's my goal. If not, it will definitely be by the end of April. I'd also like to share, I got this from the high school and from MAMS, and unfortunately ACES didn't have this data, but I would like to share that through the first half of the school year, about approximately 50% of our high school students made the honor roll, either distinguished, meritorious, or the honor roll just in general. And I would like to say and congratulate MAMS, because MAMS students, nearly 75% of the MAMS student body has achieved honor roll status, either blue or gold, in the first and second quarter. So really some amazing things that are going on at the high school and our middle school. I would also like to share that as the temperatures slowly improve, our students like to get outside. They get a little itchy, a little antsy. and sometimes behaviors take place. What I would like to say is that about this time last year, I shared behavior information, what we expect our students to be able to do, taking a look at behavior referrals that we receive. ACEs has stayed about the same with our behavior that we expect, and 98% of our students meet that goal of what it is that we expect from them. About 1% needed a little more help, some strategic intervention, and 0% required any other future or forward Tier 3 level support. MAMS, I would say MAMS has done the best job this year in improvement of behavior. MAMS has seen the most improvement, going to 81% of our students at MAMS are at Tier 1. They meet our goal. That's an increase from last year, from about 67% that we had last year. And I owe a lot to that to Mrs. Golden and Ms. Glass for implementing some of the activities in the reward program that they do. We have 11% at MAMS that are in Tier 2 that need a little targeted or strategic support, and that is approximately half of what it was last year. And in Tier 3, it is down to about 8%, which is about half of what it was last year. So kudos to the Maple Avenue Middle School staff and students for doing what's expected and continuing that growth. And our high school has seen the second most improvement, with 95% of our students meeting Tier 1 expectations, and 2% at both Tiers 2 and 3 that need a little bit more. So commendations to all the staff, students, teachers, administration for all of their work that they've done for that. And that ends my report. Oh. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I would like to at this time invite, we did, as was noted here with some questions before, we do have our attorney present with us this evening, so there were some questions from board members regarding what Dave does, what Stockton Leader has done, some representation that he's provided. So I would ask anybody on the board, or I would even ask Dave to be able to share or answer any questions that the board might have at this point for his representation of Littlestown, the board, or any individual.
Dave, I have a question.
Absolutely.
Have you, at any time since I've sat on this school board, represented me personally for Stockton Leader?
No, I've not.
Thank you. So any of these bills that people are looking at, you will not see my name attached, or that I'm being accused of, will not see my name attached, because I have not had a personal conversation with you about anything.
Well, I'll be even more clear with that. With any of our clients, we would not represent board members in their independent capacity. We just don't.
Does anybody else have any
Thank you.
questions?
No, but I have a comment about your superintendent report.
Sure.
The 75% of MAMs are blue or gold honorable.
Both together, 75% together, blue and gold.
Because I remember a year or so ago, you were saying that when our students go up to the high school, 8th graders go up to high school and do algebra, they're fine. But when they take the exams, it doesn't. So do we just have an exam taking issue? I mean, it sounds like our students are good students, but we just don't take the exams well, because when we get these bad scores, it looks like our students aren't learning at all, and that's not the case at all.
Correct.
And I don't think that people understand that.
Certainly it's part of a larger context, right?
Right. So that was very nice to hear.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? All right. Thank you, Dave. FMX report is in your packet. Monthly enrollment report, as noted. New business, following this meeting, the board's going to go into executive session to discuss the real estate matter. All right. Do I have any other new business? All right, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Aye.
In my personal opinion, with the PSSAs is that, and once you get to the Keystone, you only have say, you're looking at a lot of other math concepts, and they're working on from elementary school on up. So it's not a fair comparison when you say, oh, like they do a little low algebra.
No, but we were saying, people thought the high school eighth graders.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to explain to people. Just because they can't pass the eighth grade proficiency doesn't mean they can't pass algebra. And that's what globally is a problem that people do not understand.
Ever since they changed the middle school test, that's what's happened. It's not, because